Oh my goodness.
Well, you just brought up a very controversial topic. Should that be our opening cold?
I think.
Oh, you don't want it to be Halloween candy?
No.
Candy.
He's just bragging to me. No, I do think that would be a lovely cold open. Kevin, please repeat what you said before we began recording.
This would be bragging.
It's a lot of good candy.
He knows that's all my favorite.
Yeah. All for me.
Just go.
So talk about ageism in Hallmark, or just do the episode?
No, I think just talk about ageism. This is an interesting article that just came out that Kevin saw, I saw, and we just told Mike about.
Yeah.
Is that the president of Hallmark may not be the best president of Hallmark.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. Yeah. The idea that Holly Robinson Peete is too old and expensive, and Lacey Chabert is too old. Lacey Chabert, who is almost 7 years younger than I am. She's definitely not too old.
She's younger than all of us on this podcast.
Yeah.
So
is that right? Mike is a baby. She's not.
Oh, the same age as Mike then?
How old is Lacey Chabert?
42.
I'm 42. We're the same age.
Yeah.
Hey, calm down.
I'm so.
Play the clip.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
And we're back. Hello, I'm one of your hosts, Chris Finger.
I am one of your hosts, Kev Reagan.
Oh, and I'm a third host, joining occasionally, depending on the weekend, Mike Gregoric. I don't think we've ever said our full names, or I've said my full name.
Yeah, I don't know. Chris did, so there you have it.
Oh no, they're gonna find us now.
Hey, Kevin and Kristin, this is probably the earliest that I've ever started this. I don't think I've ever worn Halloween attire on this show because it's Halloween week and I'm watching Christmas movies instead of my Halloween movies. So I just want to say my dedication has increased this year.
No, you've really stepped it up this year.
Yeah.
And thank you for not
Really
complaining
fun.
about it, because Kevin has been complaining about it on the internet.
I have not. I have absolutely not. I even said to you, it annoys me when our friends will say, I'm not going to watch it until after Halloween. It's like, don't tell me that. But
No,
we
that's
appreciate
fine.
you, Mike.
It feels early, but it's okay.
It feels very early.
Are you still able to watch Halloween movies? Because I've watched a ton. So
Yes, but I would have watched more Halloween movies this weekend, I think, but I watched these three instead. So.
Yeah.
well,
It definitely took over the place of where I probably would have thrown in some other slashers.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you played your cards correctly, you could have watched the first movie we watched on Friday, October 25th at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Operation Nutcracker in July.
Next,
You don't believe what they say about the Nutcracker, do you?
a nutty mix-up
That it leads you to your fate.
Oh, that one's yours.
can crack open your heart.
Take a chance.
Operation Nutcracker.
I forgot you had him.
Yeah.
Do
He
you?
looks very happy.
He's so happy. Does he have a name?
Can we guess it? Can we guess the name?
Yes, you can guess.
Okay,
the
closest without going over.
name. Okay.
Filbert.
No.
It's gonna be like a Brad for me.
No.
Chandler.
You're close.
Ross.
Rachel Green.
CH, but like a proper, like, British name, maybe a king.
Chester.
Wait.
King or a prince.
PH. Tyler Hines.
It's Tyler. No, Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the show, Charles. Thank you for being our first guest of the 2024 season.
He hasn't had a name until tonight, so he's happy. He just was born, I think.
Is this a new acquisition?
No, this is like old school from the 80s thing that we had outside of my family's home that I inherited, and there were two of them, and someone in New York took it a couple Christmases ago, so I didn't want to start off on that note. I was trying not to remember the bad memories.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Operation Nutcracker.
Yeah, let's talk about it. This film kicked off the weekend. Hard, man. I'll tell you, I'm going to have the Hallmarkable cast watch the opening scene of this movie because in our thing, it is the penultimate I don't know what word I'm trying to say. No. Essentially, it hits all the tropes of boss says you're up for a big promotion. You have to go back to your hometown. You have to do this, go. And like ticked all my boxes for like, this is what a start of a movie should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Kevin, I think you want to talk about facial hair.
Some beard.
Oh.
First time we see Christopher Russell with a big, heavy beard that looked like it was glued on. Brian.
Can't men just grow beards?
I mean, it takes some time. I don't even understand what the significance of that beard was.
I think it was just to show that he's like comes from an uptight family, a proper uptight Boston family. But yeah, because clearly he had enough scruff when he shaved that he could probably have grown out a beard.
I think so. I feel like he's like a 2-day beard dude.
Yeah,
and also like I think it tried to show that he's a traveler and he's worldly, so he doesn't have time to manscape his face. But I didn't need it. It took me so out of any of it. I literally wrote, "Holy fake beard, Batman!" Like,
right.
But I did appreciate a lovely classic meet cute that we then name in the movie as a meet cute.
Yeah,
I felt old at that point. I was like, "Oh, it's that term that the kids use these days all the time."
I liked it. I like that they acknowledged it, but I also like that they didn't. It was almost more of a 3-card money on the shuffle of the case as opposed to being like the switcheroo. But it was very interesting that they almost switched suitcases with each other multiple times. So
I was kind of hoping that was going to be the bit throughout, that it was like playing on all the conventions, but then they didn't. They just did all the conventions. But I thought that was a funny start to be like, oh, no, it's not them. It's this other random guy.
Yeah.
And then he wound up tying into all of the storylines as well.
I'll tell you, though, this is my biggest. I have like the most obnoxious, like bright orange patterned travel bag, and John's are always just black that look like everyone else's.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know that that's yours?
Yeah.
Like, someone else could very easily take that. He's like, why? My name's on it. I was like, no, people are in an airport are like, get me out of here.
They're tired. They have scruffy beards.
They have so many beards.
You can't see past that.
They're trying to see their daughter that they they're coming back.
Yeah.
It could happen. It could happen. You put that question out, Kevin, because I think that was the big item of contention is like how long they took to open their bags once returning home and realizing it. It was like a full day. What were the responses? I feel like
they were all over the place. I forget what the exact answers were that were possible. And you can always do a write-in. Don't do a write-in. something else. But it was just the idea that you have your suitcase. Do you not open it right away? And my problem was he opened his suitcase to check on the Nutcracker in the airport.
Yeah.
So like clearly it's important, before he bumps into her, he opens it up. He looks at it. He's like, it looks good. He closes it. And it's like, clearly concerned until he gets home, takes the bag, sticks
Forget about it.
I don't care.
Well, he did have a second like duffel bag.
Yeah.
So my reasoning was like, okay, toiletries are in there. His like, whatever it is in that bag. Because here's something very silly. I just like cleaned my room upstairs and I found my like overnight bag that I had never unpacked from David's wedding.
There you go. So there you go. They could have.
And I was like, oh. Well, there's those shoes.
No.
I don't get that. People are weird. You're weird. What did you think of Lottie and Tristan? What awesome names? My uncle's name is Lottie, by the way. It's an awesome name.
Is it short for something?
I honestly don't know. Isn't that? Maybe. I don't know.
Wait, so your uncle's name is Lottie?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just watching, speaking of spooky time, I was just rewatching The Lost Boys, and the little boy in that is Lottie, and he's like a dude. But like in this, I feel like it could be whoever's name it wants to be, but my question is it a nickname
Maybe.
for like Liberta or like Laquanda.
Could be. There's a character in Austin Powers named Halada. I forget her last name. But
No.
But so there, I feel bad. I feel like this actor, he's probably the coolest, chillest dude ever. Right? I feel like he surfs like every morning at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But the first movie I saw him in was that Mistletoe Secret or Mistletoe Man one with Tyler Hynes, where he plays sort of a D-bag. Now I only see him as like, duh. Like whatever he does.
He was the writer? Is that what it was? And
he was like the travel dude, but Tyler wrote for him. So like I only see that, and he has this like
that's funny
weird smile.
Oh, he was the secret gift of Christmas one from last year. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It was like where he was like the neighborhood fixer-upper guy. Like
Flipping for Christmas.
Was he in Flipping too?
Yeah, Flipping for Christmas.
He's always like, the
no, she was. No, he was in the most colorful time of the year, the colorblind guy who gets the glasses and is suddenly like, what?
But also the secret gift, the personal shopper one that he was like helping. It was a weird one too.
I feel like, and it's funny because it's like, it takes a while for like when I see someone play, like say Joe Keery, if I see him play Steve Harrington, if I see him in another movie, that's just Steve Harrington for like a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel bad because I think I have this like bias towards this dude because I only see
the whole time you're like, he's colorblind. He doesn't even know what color that is.
He doesn't even know.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't remember this woman being anyone of like in my favorite movies. So like I recognize her, but you know.
Yeah, she was fine. I actually didn't have a problem with either of them overall, but she was in Flipping for Christmas last year, which none of us liked. We all agreed, like, I forget who the male was. The guy, we were all like, dude, get out of there.
No, because that paint fight was so weird. That was so weird. But I will say that this did start to grow on me because of how many tropes it actually had.
Yeah,
because
I was gonna say the same thing.
Not only did she have like a career-based thing, but his was too because he needed to take over the family business.
Yeah.
And we had a dead dad alert and a dead mom alert on her side of the things.
And a sick child. But
she was okay.
I like a dead mom and dead dad on either side. And then this is rare. And then they kind of get together and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That was
both people from the same family. It's a little weird, but
I don't think I did write that down.
Why? It's not the same blood. It's not
I don't care, but I don't need
Thrones?
I don't
It's a little weird. The I also liked it because it was following the tropes and like doing it in a smooth way and not like an annoying way. There wasn't too much of that like, you misread the messaging or anything like that. It was just a case, a little hunt for this thing. It reminded me of Jingle All the Way or something. Like, with like the father trying to get the last toy and then losing the last toy and then both. I thought it was funny that it was like, of course, it's like works at the hospital and the kid's going to go to the hospital and it's the florist and things like that. So yeah, I didn't like hate it overall. I thought pretty good chemistry and the tropes were funny.
The only thing that made me go was when they're looking for Dave, right? And they go to the bazaar and Tristan sees someone he thinks is Dave. I was like, is this going to be like a racial profiling movie?
He was wearing the same exact outfit that Dave wore the year before. And I was like,
in the picture.
There was a tiny bit of that, especially with the daughter too. Like, it's like, only one person in town could, of course, look like this girl. You know what I mean? There was a little bit of that.
I did like when everything came together and they're in the hospital and they did the name thing. It was very funny. It was very Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
But nobody says to the kids. So the little girl just goes, Joey.
I did really like that a lot, actually. That was like a humble brag. I just got to understudy for a show called POTUS, and that was a moment in the show, and it always felt like a Spider-Man moment where we all pointed at each other. So I did laugh literally genuinely out loud when the little girl was like, Joey.
I also thought it was super sweet that she got to do her. I was really upset that she couldn't do her dance. Like that affected me. I was like, oh god. And I know it was a little silly and trite at the end that but I thought it was very beautiful that she got to do it at the party. I got a little emotional there. It was nice.
Agree. I agree. I thought it was very cute that she just danced with this little sweet little Nutcracker. I was very concerned that they were going to give her leukemia, just like the sister had.
Yeah,
and I was like, don't you dare. Because she's like, I don't feel good. I was like, oh, no.
Yeah,
it was a 24-hour case of leukemia because she was fine by the time.
She was fine. Yeah, 24 hours later. I guess I would say this one, sure.
Yeah.
If you like the classics, right?
It's a classic.
Worth watching.
I will say there was also a Secret Santa appearance at the very end.
Oh, there was
a like very slim fit Santa.
Dare I say, almost sexy Santa?
Yeah, can we get that Santa in the H3L before we get here?
Quickly, add him in.
He like winked, and I was like, "You winking at me, Santa?"
No. Yeah. All right, we all kind of liked it. It was it checked all the boxes, like you said, but
yeah.
I knew what it was the moment it started.
Very Christmas, very Christmas.
Yeah, made sense to do that as your Christmas in July as well. So totally made sense.
Yeah.
Then we followed up Saturday night, October 26th, still October. Holy crap! With another Dodgers win. Oh no, that's not what we're talking about. That's not. Take that.
We're both on the same side, yeah.
The Christmas Charade, dare I say?
Don't you dare! It's charade.
They call it the heart of Christmas, worth over $10 million. It is the centerpiece at the mistletoe ball. I will be able to figure out who's going to steal it. Remember, it's supposed to be a couple.
So much fun.
What if we created a fake necklace and we could let it get stolen?
She is bold. Gotta give her that.
The Christmas Charade.
I realized that we didn't tell the director and writer for the first movie, but who cares? We don't need to. You can look it up yourself. But in this one, I think it's important to say, starring Rachel Scarston and Corey. Say it with me, Kristen.
Sevian.
Also directed by Corey Sevian, who directed Take Me Back for the Holidays, and written by Kate Pragnell, who wrote Take Me Back for the Holidays, happens to be a husband and wife combo, which is
adorable.
Yeah.
Very
adorable.
Very cute. Very cute. Stop.
I support it. So one of my favorite Audrey Hepburn films is called Charade.
Yep.
Not Charade, because it's not stupid. And so I thought it was going to be a little bit like that, but this ended up almost like another classic Audrey Hepburn film, How to Steal a Million. Oh. And so I thought it was very, how do I say this? Different in the way that we didn't have to watch this like, will they, won't they? They don't like each other, because I liked, that they had this mission.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of different.
They also avoided she doesn't know what's going on the entire time. Yeah. That I was nervous for a hot second in the restaurant scene that it was going to be a miscommunication the whole time. And I thought it was great that he pulls her aside and says, here's the deal. I'm an agent. You got to go along with this. You know what I mean? And then he was like, all right, great. We can get her out. And then she like, because she wanted this adventure, came back in. So it was a nice way to set up the whole like spy thing without it being like, oh, geez. You know,
I agree. And I think that the fact that she wasn't so in the weeds on all this, like her parents, there's a spoiler that comes up later, but her parents were very into like personal safety. They own a security company. She knows martial arts, so she can defend herself. She took ballroom dancing. So like she's kind of more worldly than her character, at least at first lets on. And it works for the moments in the movie where it's not like, suddenly you're forced to ballroom dance. You don't know how, although he didn't know how, and he was totally good at it.
Was fine. That was no. I'm glad that they definitely could have gone the like damsel in distress, I'm clueless route, and I'm so glad they didn't. And I'll say one of my favorite moments in this film was right at the top is when the other spy got accosted by my least favorite thing, carolers.
Yeah. I thought that was like part of the plot and they were going to kidnap her.
So did I. I was like, these carolers, they're going to show up later. They're in on it.
Yeah. They were so aggressive.
You thought this was going to be way more complicated than it turned out.
And it was. But no, they were just your standard annoying carolers.
This is how complicated the movie wasn't. He's wearing a green sweater. Everyone's wearing a green sweater. Hold on.
Oh, I know.
And I was like, I was fine with it. It was very the man with one red shoe. That miscommunication. Yes. I was into it.
Oh man, if only Tom Hanks was in this.
Yeah, couldn't get. Well, it's funny you say that because they have Kristen Booth and Jefferson Brown in the opening as the spies, and that's fine because they're Hallmark World. But like, why wouldn't you go? Look, it's a little minor part. Let's spend money. Let's get like, I don't know, Matthew McConaughey, and like just to do it because all it is cutbacks on the TV.
Well, that's the Austin Powers. That's the Austin Powers joke, right? He had all the celebrities in the fake film. When the fake film came up, it got me for a while. It's like, oh, cool, this is like a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And then when she was watching it, and then it was like back to reality. I was a tiny bit, and I was actually, and they had the couple moments right where she said the same catchphrase at the top of the building and stuff. I was hoping for a little more of that, where there were more mimicked moments from like the movie. And like she actually got to fight a little bit after showing off her fighting skills.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I think whatever dipped out just to like the typical like they get hung up by carolers or like they have to go to a Christmas, they get stuck meeting the parents and playing games. That's when I'm like, oh man, you could have like. I always want them to lay harder into these ideas when they have them because it was good when it was like when they were on their mission and they were the spies. I was like, cool, something different. This was fun.
Yeah.
Mission Improbable, as it were.
Yeah, it had Mission Impossible references.
I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
This happens. It's a trope in movies that happens all the time, and I'm just wondering if it doesn't happen.
I know what you're going to say. Nobody plays charades at Christmas now.
Charades.
Probably charades at Christmas. No, the dad had the like, "Don't hurt my daughter" talk. Like right when he first met this dude. When you met your current wives and you met their dad or whoever, if they have some sort of figure in their life that. Did they do this to you?
No. No. I think there are some people maybe out there that have tough dads in certain areas. You know what I mean?
That was bizarre because it wasn't. That was the whole. If she falls hard because when she was 7, she found kittens. So if you're not really into her, just leave. And
don't
it's like
hurt her because we took kittens away from her. Like what?
Yeah,
I read it as also she.
Yeah.
I thought I read it also though as she had some other relationship that went badly, and the father was like, "Don't do that to her." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can see dads getting serious, but it does get over dramatized a lot on TV.
Yeah,
that whole thing.
I just have never had like. Can you imagine it being the other way? That like a dad came to like a female partner and was like, "Don't hurt my son. He's very delicate.
Listen, he's soft. He's a soft little boy.
He's soft. He'll cry if you just look at him wrong."
Yeah, I guess they had to give her something, right? Some like flaw that she had to get over.
Yeah.
So that was just part of that. Like
you
know what I mean? But
because then that was the part I wrote down. I wrote her stupid overreaction moment at the end.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you mad at him?
Because we find out he was a foster kid, and she's like, "What would you know? Family." I was like, I don't know if you recover from this.
No, that was a low blow.
I think worse than all of that is the fact that when she decorated his apartment, she gave him this snow globe, and he was like, "I'm not into gifts." And then she re-gifts that snow globe to him again at the end of the movie, and they
should have saved it. Yeah, I think they should have saved it, or they needed her to say a line about being not the ex anymore, or the pretend girlfriend, but I mean, she sort of did.
But it was like, did she steal that from his apartment where she put it to re-gift it? Like,
well, I think they stole it from the Christmas place anyhow, because
they never paid for nothing,
including for the necklace that Mrs. Claus made in 2 hours.
Mrs. Claus, it's magic again. It's magic again. She's Mrs.
Can
Claus.
I tell you? Again, I asked too much of this movie. I thought that lady was going to be in on it in the end, where she like That's how she knew already how easily to make that necklace, and that she was going to tell them that. And I was like, and then when she didn't come back, damn.
I thought her parents were in on it at one point. I thought everyone was in on it, and it was towards the very end. I was like, I'm not going to spoil it in case, but I was like, and I said it, and then it happened. I was like, I'm not as proud of myself at this moment.
No. And I knew that painting would have something to do with something. Like, I was like, I guess.
What even happened? No, but then the painting didn't. It was just the curator that stole both at the same night. Was that what it was?
No, the lady, which still doesn't make any sense. So he was like after this dude that was married to that lady that was running the ball.
That apparently the dude had nothing to do with
it. The dude had nothing to do with it, but his wife stole all of the things.
Yeah, because she loves love. So she loves
love.
Yeah, jeez, that's how she let him do it.
Oh God,
maybe this one wasn't as good as I thought it was. No,
she took the painting.
Yeah, but they didn't really like wrap that one up.
No, they didn't.
That one was weird because they even said the painting's a fake. And he said, because the real one was stolen. And then he said where it is. And I'm like, wait, if you know where it is, why didn't you get it?
You know what's funny? I wonder if there was some added bit that they were like, this is too long, of them being able to track it to her because of that painting. And they needed that. Because, otherwise the painting was not important. She'd already taken the necklace. That was the whole thing. Yeah.
But she didn't take it. The curator did for her, right?
Yeah.
But like, guys, I think we wanted this to be Mission Impossible, and it just wasn't.
Even his rope was so silly.
Oh my God, his hands would be like torn apart.
Well, that
hand too.
Yeah, that scene. But then the scene where they were doing the Mission Impossible through the vent. Also, he had this like very waxed, like slippery, like.
Mike, hold on. We have cookies in 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, I got some cookies.
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Best security guards in cinematic history ever.
So good.
That's how security guards work too, by the way. They stand right next to the item.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't look at it, but they just stand there.
Well, they were distracted. And of course, as always, we know if you get a call, you just go put your hands to your ear like that. And then what?
I gotta go.
Okay. Yeah.
Hold on.
I want that movie to be reshot, but it's that if she went on an actual date with the guy with the mustache, what would that movie be?
Hold on, you're talking Mark Loves Cats 1922.
I need to know everything about Mark Loves Cats.
What if he was in on it? Oh,
are there 1921 other Mark Loves Cats?
Wait. What if at the end it was like Usual Suspects, like you see Mark walking down the sidewalk and he just like has the painting over his shoulder?
That would have been awesome. And he takes the mustache.
Yeah, and we're like, oh my God, Mark was the thief the entire time.
Oh, that would have been great.
Hallmark, watch our show.
You missed out.
We fixed it.
I like this movie.
I liked it. Yeah, I love her. I think Rachel Skarsten.
She's great.
Chris and I have said it before. She can pull a face, and she does, and I love it. So
no, it's no subtlety, and I appreciate it so much. She's not trying to be like pretty. She's like, I just love it. She's still pretty, obviously, but Kevin, we had another one where they had their first kiss, and Mom and Dad came out to watch it. But at least in this one, she was like, "What are you doing?"
I liked that. I liked that she yelled at them.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh my God." I would, if I saw someone kissing, I immediately look the other way.
Well, that's a great segue into our final movie of the weekend. On Sunday, October 27th at 8:00, we watched The 5-Year Christmas Plan with Katie Findlay and Jordan Fisher.
Max is here.
Falling in love at Christmas
You've had a huge crush on him for 3 years now.
is hard to resist.
There was something between us.
I feel like being friends is really working for us.
Except for the fact that we can't stop making...
No kissing. Right.
Yeah.
Well, no, of course.
We both wanted something so badly. Do we really want to keep doing nothing about it?
I'm finally starting to understand how much it means to have somebody here this time of year.
The 5-Year Christmas Party.
Directed by Peter Benson, who directed Navigating Christmas, and written by Zach Hugg, who wrote Ghost of Christmas Always, which we all love that movie.
We loved it.
Is that the play one?
No, that was the one with Oh no, I don't know now. I'm thinking the Girlfriends of Christmas Past. What was the Ghost of
Oh, we
Christmas?
love that one.
Yeah. I
Ghost
love
of
all the
Christmas
ghosts.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ghost of.
That's one.
Was it the play one? It might have
Yeah,
been.
that's the play one, I think.
Oh God, is that
I can't remember.
Aloha?
I hope so.
Paluha?
Anyway, this
We
movie.
can move on with it.
5 years.
No, it's
5
not. It's not
years.
even what we're thinking. Also, Kevin, I think they changed the title from when you had it originally. It's the 5-year Christmas party. But I see that you said plan, and it makes sense that it's like, yeah, they had like a plan.
Yeah.
So that's even better. They should have kept it.
Yeah.
They could have called it 5 years of Christmas that will feel like 10.
Oh.
No, that's not accurate.
I didn't. It was going on for a long time.
It
The
got
same
real.
thing. I feel bad. These are supposed to be the hip new ones and the young kids, and
Yeah.
I think they go so hard into that. At one point I turned to Adrian, my wife, for this, and was like, I think like it almost felt AI generated. Like it felt like, hey, AI write a story that has not like it doesn't play with any of the tropes of Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
But still allows some of the things to happen. Like it felt like they were trying so hard so many times to be like, no, we're not like that kind of movie. We're just hip and different. I don't know.
I
feel bad.
don't want
Don't wanna
either of
like
you to get mad at me.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can like it.
Oh, I did not like it.
Oh, you didn't like it.
I loved it. I loved it.
Good.
I messaged both you guys. So, Mike, I forget what you said. You said something in the thread. We tend not to talk about any of these movies until now.
Yeah.
But you said something, and I turned to my wife and I said to Julie, I don't think Mike likes this movie very much. And then at the very end, I texted you guys and I said, that third act got a little messy. And that I do believe, Chris.
Yeah.
But that said, she was excellent. Like her delivery was very fun and different. It was refreshing.
Well, we liked her movie from last year.
We did. Yes. Yeah.
So
I
it's
really
good.
like her.
Yes.
Do I have a crush on her? Yes, I do.
She's very
She also, whoever dresses her in a way that like does seem normal to me. Like a lot of the other folks in the Hallmark movies, they get dressed too just like plain and like, you know, but she has personality with what she wears.
Yeah.
And they did that with her in both movies. So I wonder if she has like this would be fun. This would like a little bit of a say to that, who this is, you know?
She's tall and she's certainly taller than him. So I wonder if that kind of plays into it. She's got, you know, a specific build and they dress her very well.
She feels like she has a hand in some of the design
probably
as an actor. Because it's the same kind of look that one last year she was in had, which was just like
her tuxedo
TW.
for the opening night of A Christmas Carol. I need that entire outfit. I was like,
yeah.
And he obviously Broadway fame. Hello. I cannot believe that when they went to go sing, that they all did terrible voices. I thought that was hilarious.
Well, I do have a question about that and what your opinions are, because Julie said she felt when he gathered them around, you know, that was the plan, is let's sing horribly and then they'll stop us. Because I'm like, if these are all people who met within a theater program,
theater school,
even if you're not in musical theater, it's part of your repertoire. And you may not be a strong singer, but you're sure as hell you're not going to find 5 people in a theater program singing.
that are bad at singing. No, that's a good point. Thank you, Julie. Because I thought it was like a plot point because we have this Broadway star who's like, come on in, I'm going to tell you what to do. And then it was the worst thing
Well,
ever.
and then later on in the movie, he's got the guitar out. And I'm like, here it comes, finally.
Here it comes.
And then no song again. I think it was a little weird. It's weird.
Yeah,
to
the
ask
guitar
someone
moment
like that.
was a little weird. That was a little weird. I will say that these two had very charming chemistry together. I liked their chemistry the most out of probably this whole weekend.
Sure.
But I also think that like just speaks to what I think is romantic, and it's like bits and banter. So like,
well, and I did like I thought it was too many years, but I did like the idea or concept of falling in and out with someone that you do love, and it's not doesn't always happen. immediately and like within a day. It can take time to develop as friends over years and things.
Yeah,
like I have a
think
very
it could have been
experience,
3 years.
Yeah,
I think it could have been let's be friends.
Yeah.
He becomes his dream comes true, then her dream comes true, and then they figure it out.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I will say, in the third year, when they kissed, that's where his sister Pam walks in and immediately
turns around.
Because that's what a human being does. They don't go.
They don't go. Oh.
She was like,
Yeah. Oh God! How about when he's the movie star though, and he forces his friends to work for his own party? He doesn't force them. I was like,
well, his parents do. His parents do. Michael.
I know, but still, I would have been like, hey, let's not have my friends work that night. They should come to the party.
Yeah, like they should come to the party to celebrate with me.
Yeah. Oh,
now I'm gonna have Kevin cater every event that I.
I'm gonna spit in all the food. I spit in both the cups you guys are drinking out of right now. So enjoy.
You did just send me this today in the mail.
Speaking of drinking out of cups, why didn't anyone tell us that we could have played the drinking game of when Ashley Williams' name is mentioned, we can drink in this movie?
Funny.
Well, how cool is that?
Love the bit.
This Hallmark movie exists within the world of Hallmark movies, not Hallmark.
Yeah.
Right.
That is
because they showed the real opening of like Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater, and I was like, should we just watch that during this? Yeah. I thought that was kind of cute.
That's how hip they are.
I don't think I have any other. I really just enjoyed this movie, even though it went on too long. Yeah, and the only thing that I thought was was forced was like him hiding from her, which I get like at the very
when he was in the racks.
That's hilarious. But
really
I mean, funny. Then she saw him at the party of the new board people and was like, "I love you," and he was like, "I gotta go."
Yeah.
Like, no, it's now, dude, because she already. I get that I respect that you were waiting for her to have her night. But just say I love you too. I can't wait to come see your show. Let's talk about this later. So that was weird.
Can I also speak to all of the 101 improv teachers out there? Don't ever play Santa's Lap as an improv game.
Yeah, that was not the best group game.
It's creepy.
That was another moment where I'm like, I think they just like fed things into a generator, and they're like, what's a game, a group improv game that involves Christmas?
Honestly,
and then the generator was
each other's lap.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like because obviously someone wrote this movie that probably went to an acting school or took an improv class or something.
Okay. Yeah.
So they were like, because the line where it was like, what do people learn at theater school? And he was like, well, you pay a lot of money to play games.
That's true. There's
I was like, they're not wrong. They are not wrong.
They're not wrong.
But I do think that like the moment they were like, oh, well, let's play this game. I was like, oh.
Me too.
There's so many possibilities.
Yeah. I was like, where's it going to go? And I was like, here, this is what we chose.
We're going to sit on each other's laps?
Yeah.
And we only had the one, you only saw one, which was the couple you're following. So I was like, okay. And then they immediately were like cutting away. I was like, smart decision.
Smart.
Yeah.
Oh, golly. But I really enjoyed this. And there's also something about, there was a very, because this movie had lots of kisses, actually, like for a Hallmark movie of like these two people kissing, which I thought was lovely. But like the cutest moment was when they were by the tree and their hands like almost touched. Like, I loved it. I got goosey.
What about when she pulled the bell out later and had that memory from like 3 years ago, but for us, like 20 minutes
like
ago.
20 hours ago.
Well, true. Yeah. It was in real time. This film does feel like it's in real time.
Well, I would recommend this one highly, but you have to have an open mind because it probably was AI generated with the terms hip, cool, not Hallmarky.
Not Hallmarky, yeah.
But I loved it.
Yeah.
So like an alternate universe of Hallmark where the people act slightly differently. But
yes.
And they all are from a version of Brooklyn.
Right.
Very in any city.
Hallmark Brooklyn.
Hallmark Brooklyn. Hallmark.
Well, this was Hallmark Chicago. And I loved his Hallmark LA. like where he walked
Oh,
into
yeah.
the like casting. Like
Yeah,
I was like,
I know.
where are these people?
When in the
Vancouver.
very opening of the movie, when she walked into her apartment through the it was obviously an apartment building.
Yeah,
Because it had the swinging, the whatever door. What is that called? What do we call that, guys? Goes like that.
that's a swinging door.
Rotating door?
Swinging for me is like walking into a saloon, like
A circular, a
round.
Revolving
roundabout.
door.
Revolving door.
Mike, what would we do without you? This is why
Kevin and I would have still been.
Even I blanked for a while, and I was like, why do we not all three of us know the word?
this almost felt like the 5th year of that movie. It was really going on.
Yeah. They're like,
but when she walked into her apartment, it was like huge, and I was like, man. And then later, when she's talking to her mom, she said, "I don't think I can send you money to help pay for the apartment." And I was like, okay, I like that they acknowledged this.
That she's yeah. Which then, I mean, still at one point she was volunteering as a box office person and getting paid for random catering gigs. So I don't think she still would have been able to afford that apartment.
There was some weird money things going on, and even the theater was funny to me with like how much notoriety it got, but it seemed like it was just maybe a small town. But was it in or is it
right?
Was it this massive regional theater in Chicago that you know what I mean? I couldn't
right. Like I didn't know what they what they were trying to go for with that because like it had the like a movie theater marquee, not like a theater. And I mean, the place I work has lots of lovely recognition, but we also are still a nonprofit theater that doesn't have much money.
Yeah.
But like, oh boy.
It's just some of those things for me.
I say watch it. But you know what else we watched this weekend? We're 3 hot dudes.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm so glad Mike's here for this one because I think Kevin and I saw in your spreadsheet, Kevin, you added Mike's zeros, so it brought everyone's average down so low.
It did not. It's if you look at the math, it does not. It's aggregated out, so the numbers look at them again. Well, I'll look. Well, I will take care of that. Don't you worry.
All right. Well, anyway, folks, we're doing H3O, which is the holiday hallmarkable hunks of holidays. Too many H's.
Yeah.
Too many H's. But we're going to objectify the male leads in these films. So we're looking at their faces, their arms, what their hands are doing, what if they're wearing shirts well, pants well, maybe even shoes well. I don't know. So we rate these 1 out of 10 heinies. So those are upside down hearts. And because Tyler Hines is a 10, and I promised Kevin that I would not go over a 10 this year.
Yes.
And I won't.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know this rule.
This is new,
Mike.
Mike.
Have you already ruined it in week 1 for you?
No. Don't worry. No one's getting a 10, so we're fine.
He loves that beard. He loves a fake beard.
So we're fine this week. I want to make sure to set the scale. In my
No,
head.
I am sticking to it.
So it's not better than Tyler Hines. Don't go over. Now, can we go? What if we? Okay, I'm in. Let's do it.
Okay.
I got it.
So we're going to start off with, please bring up Christopher Russell and his fake beard, please.
Yeah. Now, before you didn't like this shot because you were over Gentleman's Nipples from the week before.
Yeah. Thank you for Mike. Thanks for watching the episode.
That was great. I think we like this. best because we.
Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. So this is the character of Tristan Warby, and I'll kick us off.
Sure.
He doesn't warm my biscuits.
Okay.
He doesn't do it for me, and I think it's because the classic Hallmark stamp that they put on these dudes, because I saw some pictures of like him with his wife and I was like, oh, this dude looks cool, like but I don't like a clean, I mean, even the fake beard is too
fake beard is ridiculous. Definitely
it's ridiculous. However, he never was mean. He was always kind of nice. He didn't lie. He didn't try and like cheat her or whatever. So he gets like a little bit of a score for that. but there's something weird about his always smile that he has in these movies that like it sends up a red flag of like, what's he always thinking about?
Yeah, like murder. He could be thinking about murder.
Murder is correct.
Yeah. Okay.
So I gave him a 5.5 because that's all personality for me, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. If we're going down the way Mike has us on the screen, I liked him. I did. I thought I agree with you. He was kind when Lottie was fired. Mm-hmm. He stuck up for her immediately and was like, no, this is not her. This is me. By the way, when she was fired, they used all of her stuff still to make the event go off without a hitch. Yeah. Whatever.
I was concerned about that. I forgot about that.
To your point, Chris, didn't crack my nuts, as it were, for the Operation Nutcracker. So I would say Operation fail in that sense. But he was all right. I went a little bit higher than you. I did a 6.5. So
oh wow. Well, get ready, mean. And spreadsheets because I'm going straight 6. I had 6 in my brain the entire time. I don't like, but I don't like normally doing round number, like, on the zeros. I like to give a point something, but I think this guy is the perfect sort of balance. You know, like you said, he's the Hallmark person.
Yeah.
Whether you think he's a hunk or not is subjective, but he smiles nice. His hair has a nice flip over. He's very, very kind. His beard. They were like, you have to wear this beard, and he was like, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, he's just a 6. He's now going to be that bar. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time, Christopher Russell.
Yeah.
Let's bring up our next hunk. This is Corey Sevier. As I like to call him, Grant Ward Light. He looks
my gosh, that's who it is.
Like Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not.
Right.
So the thing that I liked about this dude was he had skills. I like a guy with skills, a guy that can use a rope inappropriately and wrong and still come out fine.
Could have been a different movie. Chris, I thought you were going back to the S&M conversation we had last week.
I also like a guy who can wear a sweater.
Yeah.
With like animals on it. Thought that was nice. He's got once he loosened up with her family, boy, he's got a charm and smile on him.
Yeah.
And but he doesn't jingle all my bells. He jingled those tables of bells that people play.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like a bung bung, and that's it. Like that would be the end of it, right? So I gave him a 6.5.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah,
I like it. Those table of bells, I will never not think of New Girl.
I know with Winston.
Yep, it's a great with the gloves. Great scene. I dare I say, and hear me out on this before my wife comes running down and just chokes me. When I look at him, especially in this picture with the flak jacket, I think Colin Farrell. Wait for it. Stunt double.
Oh,
we can't blow up Colin Farrell, but we could blow up.
This guy
only on a Colin Farrell film, but on a Corey Sevier film.
Yeah,
I like him. I remember the movie Noel Next Door, where he played the Scrooge character, and they wanted you to not like him at first, but they wanted you to not like him because he had the bad foot, and the neighborhood kids threw snowballs at him. I'm like, I'm on this guy's side. I don't understand how that's me not liking him. Same thing with this. Like, he's supposed to be gruff, but he was never. He just like he showed up to the holiday party and he was ready to work. And his boss is like, you could take some time to shake hands. And he's like, I'm here to work, dude. Come on.
We're the FBI. Come on.
And I dug that. I dug that he was all work. So, but to your point, Chris, when he started to lighten up, he was nice to her parents.
Yep.
And he even said to the mother, she's lucky to have you. And that was like not him being in character. It was like he legitimately was telling this guy, like, I love that you came to me and told me If I'm not in this for the right reasons, I should leave. And I appreciate that you said that. So I went slightly higher on this guy as well, Chris. I went with a 7.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
I agree with what everyone said. I think he had a nice arc for these kind of one-note characters that usually are very like, phooey, Christmas phooey. I had one bad Christmas where my father died, or whatever. The tragedy is. No, but that's what
Pretty bad Christmas.
That's what it often is. It's happened before. There's ghosts and things. But he didn't let that hang over. He discovered his way around that throughout the movie and learned from her, which I thought was really nice. He's got. They were obviously trying to give him a Bond / Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Ethan Hunt sort of feel. So I'm going pretty high. He was very nice all the time. I gave 6 was my standard. I'm gonna go 6.4. 6.4.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. So, what's interesting? Me not going above 10 is changing my numbers.
I know. I love this. Yeah. I love this.
Yeah. All right, let's bring up our last hottie boom body. Listen, I love him. I would date this man in real life. This right here, this is my type. This is a weird statement. He's masculinely feminine, and Mama likes it. So if we had this table of bells, it would be like bung 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 bung. But you know what? You know what, Tyler? Because Tyler does the
okay.
Yeah. So I gave this guy pretty high because I also liked his character a lot. I I'm so attracted to struggling actors. So it's been since I was 12. He's got the softest little brown baby eyes I've ever seen in my life.
This is feeling high.
And he's got a really nice smile.
Mike, this might go to an 11 here.
Wow.
No, it's not, because I'm sticking to my guns.
Okay.
I gave him an 8.2.
Wow, so that's high. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, interesting.
Dang.
I like him. I like his mouth. I like him in suits. I like him. And his hair is so hot. Okay, Kevin, you go.
He has such a Prince feel to him, and I'm not sure if it's height related as well. He's not
5'8", by the way. We're the
5'8".
same height. We'd work perfectly together.
I looked this up because I wanted to keep my score within Prince's height, which is 5.2, and how many number one hit albums Prince had, which was 8. So I wanted to keep my score in there because I had the Prince vibes going.
Sure.
I liked this character, and he definitely won me over in the end. When he first comes outside in the first year, it felt slightly creepery. And I know this is going to be awful. I've never smoked. I don't like smoking. A lot of my friends smoked. But it felt like the only reason you would go out on the roof in the cold at a party like that is to smoke, which neither of them did. So I felt like she went out to get away from the party, and he went out because he was a bit of a creeper. That was my initial feelings. And Hallmark's not going to do this, and they shouldn't do this anymore. But if he had come out to be like, I would have been like, okay, that's legitimate.
Yeah.
But it took a little while for me to get away from that creeper feel with him. And it just at first, the kiss play was very fun with her. And when they did the reenactment of the kiss, he said, well, let's reverse parts. And then she said, let's stay standing, directorial choice. I was like, I love all this. And then he had started to win me over. So I will go to a 6.7 on this one.
Oh.
Yeah. You're reminding me of a lot of things, Kevin, and my score was going down a little bit because you reminded me of, him kind of being like, hey, I followed you out here. A little bit creepy. I thought his thing of hey, I'm playing Hamlet and trying to compete with her, even though I think he did legitimately love her, but then was playing that game of which actors do in relationships where they're both being well, who's the bigger star? Who's going to get the bigger thing? You know what I mean? I thought the party was weird that he had the people. I do think that he was kind of into himself so much so that when he was seeing her real feelings, he chose to I think he made more of the choices to leave, and she was kind of just following along with what she could do best and what was, I didn't like him. He's cute. He's on Broadway. He's a great singer. But I think character wise, he's down below. He's 5'2" or something like that. 5'2", yeah.
5'2". So you stayed within the Prince range. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
This is wild. This is wild.
Yeah, I think that's what kept me out of it.
Hey, it's fine. Listen, for some reason, his whole I'm in Hamlet. I was like, I've dated those guys, so I don't have a problem with this. This is the norm, right? People brag about what
you've dated a Hamlet. Yeah, you strike me more of like a Mercutio, or
that's what they were bragging about. They were like, yeah.
Funny.
All right, well, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of H3O.
So if you want to reach out to us, you can email us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. You can find us on all of our socials, Instagram and Facebook at Remark the Show. So check it out. Kristin does all sorts of crazy things all week long. We never know what she's going to do.
Well, this week, I start rehearsals for Spring Awakening.
Ooh.
So if you're in the Delaware area, come to that in December.
I was just saying, to the rehearsals?
Yeah. Do you want to come to rehearsal?
I do not. No. This week, I'm going trick-or-treating with my daughter.
Wow.
Are we allowed to know what the family costume is?
Not a family costume this year. She wanted to be, she really likes Agatha all along, so she's playing Alice.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
And I don't even know if Julie is dressing up. We're going out with different people than we normally do. We all watched Shaun of the Dead together, so I said, well, to hell with it. If there's no theme, I'm just going to dress up as Shaun. So,
great.
Shaun costume already.
Mike, do you have a costume?
We are going to be in Disney World at the Magic Kingdom for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. We're not Jelly, and we are dressing as Madame Mim and Merlin, and from
Stop
the Sword in the Stone.
You better be Madame Mim and not.
I'm Madame Mim. Yes.
You have to give us a picture. We'll post a picture. That's all.
Oh my God! Well, wait. Which version of
I'm doing?
Madame Mim?
She's doing kind of like the sex when she changes into like the sexy lady, and I'm like back from Bermuda.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
our costume.
I got to dress up at the Blue Show, so we have to wear like blue colored costumes. So I was a Blockbuster employee, and it felt real weird to put those khakis and that shirt on again, man.
Oh.
It took me back to 2004.
Oh, that was just your clothes?
I didn't. So when I quit Blockbuster, I quit by putting my shirt.
Being fired.
No,
no.
I quit by returning my shirt in the Dropbox and said, I don't need this anymore.
Oh,
sorry, I didn't rewind it.
Sorry, I didn't rewind it. So I found a real, but it is a real Blockbuster shirt. I found it for like $30 on eBay.
Love it. Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. See you next week.
Then we're allowed to talk Christmas.
Finally.
Bye.
Finally.